Britain in the 1950s was rebuilding itself after war. Families dreamed of finally owning a car, and British manufacturers promised modern motoring for a new era. But behind the polished showrooms and bold advertising, many of these cars turned into expensive disappointments. Today on Britain Rewind, we're counting down 10 of the most disappointing British cars of the 1950s. And number 1 might be the strangest failure Britain ever produced. Number 10. Standard Vanguard Phase 2. Launched in 1952, the Standard Vanguard looked modern and ambitious, aimed at families wanting something bigger and more refined. But owners quickly discovered the problems. The 2.1-liter engine felt sluggish, the column gear change was awkward, and rust appeared frighteningly fast around the lower bodywork. Families who spent years saving for one often watched it deteriorate within months. It promised world-class motoring but delivered endless frustration. Number 9. Hillman Husky. The Hillman Husky arrived in 1954 as a compact estate car for working British families. It looked practical enough, but the tiny 1.3-liter engine struggled badly when loaded with luggage or passengers. Long drives became exhausting, rattles appeared almost immediately, and rust attacked the wheel arches with alarming speed. Many owners quietly traded theirs in after only a few years. Number 8. Singer SM 1500. Singer had a strong reputation in Britain, so buyers expected quality from the SM 1500. On paper, the overhead cam engine sounded advanced, and the car certainly looked respectable, but the build quality was poor. Trim peeled away, electrics failed constantly, and British winters exposed terrible waterproofing around the doors and windows. Owners who trusted the Singer badge felt deeply disappointed. Number 7. Wolseley 444. The Wolseley 444 was marketed as a refined gentleman's saloon in 1952. The illuminated grille badge looked classy, but underneath it all the car felt badly underpowered. Acceleration was slow, the suspension wallowed badly on rough roads, and overheating became a common complaint during longer journeys. What was meant to feel prestigious quickly became stressful to own. Number 6. Daimler Conquest. The Daimler name carried enormous prestige in Britain, which made the Conquest even more disappointing. Buyers expected luxury and refinement, but instead found a car with confusing controls, sluggish performance, and poor build quality. For many owners, the dream of owning a Daimler faded quickly. Number 5. Armstrong Siddeley Sapphire 346. The unusual pre-selector gearbox frustrated many drivers, while the expensive price tag made every flaw feel even worse. The Sapphire looked impressive. It had a smooth 3.4-liter engine, leather seats, and polished walnut trim. But behind the luxury image hid constant reliability issues and shockingly expensive maintenance bills. Electrical faults became common, repairs cost a fortune, and buyers soon realized the car was far more complicated than dependable. It promised first-class British engineering and delivered constant headaches instead. Number 4. Jowett Jupiter. The Jowett Jupiter arrived in 1950 surrounded by excitement. It looked sporty, won races, and seemed like proof Britain could build world-class sports cars. But owners soon discovered serious reliability problems. Crankshaft failures destroyed engines, electrics failed regularly, and repairs became painfully expensive. By 1954, Jowett itself collapsed completely, taking the Jupiter down with it. Number 3. Bond Minicar Mark C. The Bond Minicar was Britain's desperate answer to cheap post-war transport. Tiny, lightweight, and powered by a motorcycle engine, it promised incredible fuel economy. The reality was terrifying. With barely 9 horsepower, the car struggled on hills, had no reverse gear, and handled dangerously in wet weather. Drivers literally had to lift the front end by hand to turn it around. It felt less like a car and more like a rolling compromise. Number 2. Austin A90 Atlantic. Austin believed the Atlantic could conquer America. With chrome-heavy styling and a convertible body, it looked bold and glamorous by British standards. But American buyers ignored it completely. The engine was weak compared to huge American V8s, while British buyers found the styling awkward and the price too high. Sales collapsed, and Austin quietly abandoned the project in embarrassment. Number 1. Rover Jet 1. And here it is, the strangest disappointment of them all. The Rover Jet 1 was Britain's futuristic gas turbine car. In 1952 it reached over 150 miles per hour and looked like something from science fiction. Crowds gathered around it in amazement, believing they were seeing the future of motoring. But the reality was impossible. The turbine engine used huge amounts of fuel, took ages to warm up, and produced unbearable heat. Rover eventually gave up entirely. Britain had briefly touched the future, then quietly walked away from it. The 1950s were filled with ambition for British motoring. These cars may have disappointed buyers, but they also reflected a country trying to rebuild, innovate, and dream again after war. Some failures were small, others became legendary, but every one of them tells part of Britain's automotive story. If you enjoyed this journey into Britain's forgotten motoring disasters, subscribe to and let us know in the comments which of these cars shocked you the most.